I'm purposely going to keep this video really quick. Let's describe the transformation from y equals x squared, which looks like this. For the graph y equals 2x squared plus 3, how are we going to work out how to sketch it? Let's put x equals 0, in which case y equals 3. So we've now got this point. Oh look, it's clearly times 2 stretch in y-axis, or in direction of y-axis, then plus 3 translation in direction of y-axis. So it's a times 2 stretch followed by a plus 3 translation. Let's do the next one. We want the translation from y equals x squared, which looks like this, to y equals 2x plus 3 squared. Now in this case we put y equals 0 because it's better to think about putting y equal to 0 if you've got complicated things happening with the x in this kind of way. Anyway, let's try it. So that means that 2x plus 3 equals 0. So that means that x equals minus 3 over 2. So that becomes minus 3 over 2. And the graph looks like this. So clearly it's a translation of minus 3 in, so it's a translation minus 3 in the direction of the x-axis, then a stretch of times a half, because if you're doing something to the x, it kind of has the opposite effect. That's why it's minus 3 translation, and that's why it's a times a half stretch. Then times 3 stretch times 3 in direction of x-axis. Have you spotted the strangeness? I always think it's a bit strange. Let's go back to the original. If it's 2x squared plus 3 with no brackets kicking around, then you just do the stretch first and then you do the translation, which makes sense, it's BIDMAS. But the moment you introduce the brackets, here are the brackets, oh look, you have to think about it in the opposite direction if you're going to describe the transformation that's happened. So it's kind of the reverse of BIDMAS. You have to do the translation first and then do the stretch, which continues this pattern that you just kind of do things in the opposite order if they're inside the bracket when doing graphs. There's lots of complicated things we could talk about here. Let's not talk about them now. Let's just leave it at that.